The peaceful desert of the Coachella Valley has just been hit by a seismic force that no weather radar could have predicted. The Indian Wells Tennis Garden, widely known as Tennis Paradise, has officially been hijacked. The reason? A 20-year-old left-handed sensation from the Philippines named Alex Eala. As the official main draw ceremonies conclude today, California is erupting in a sea of blue, red, and yellow. But it's not just the flags that are causing a stir. It's the economy of the tournament itself. We are witnessing an unprecedented financial phenomenon where ticket prices for the early rounds are exploding to levels usually reserved for a Grand Slam final. Experts are calling it the Eala inflation, and it has left the tournament organizers and veteran fans in a state of absolute shock. Why has the arrival of the world number 31 caused such a massive market disruption? To understand the scale, you have to look at the secondary ticket markets like StubHub and SeatGeek today. Usually a stadium pass for the opening rounds might cost you $60 to $80, but as of this Monday morning, tickets for any session featuring Alex Eala are being resold for upwards of $400, $600, and in some courtside cases over $1,000. The reason is simple. The Filipino diaspora in California, which is one of the largest in the world, has decided to turn Indian Wells into a home court for their queen. From San Diego to San Francisco, thousands of fans are descending upon the desert, and they are willing to pay any price to witness history. This isn't just a tennis match anymore. It's a cultural invasion that has completely overtaken the fifth Grand Slam. The shock is felt most deeply among the tournament's traditional elite. Imagine being a season ticket holder for 20 years only to find yourself surrounded by thousands of roaring fans chanting Laban Pilipinas before a ball has even been struck in the main draw. The atmosphere at the practice courts today was more intense than most championship finals. When Alex Eala stepped onto court 3 for her morning session, the security teams had to be doubled. The crowd was so dense that fans were climbing on top of each other just to get a glimpse of her Sampet pattern Nike gear. This is the Eala hijack. She has taken the spotlight away from every other superstar in the draw, including the top seeds. And the sheer volume of her support has forced the WTA to rethink their entire security and seating protocol for the week. But the real story behind this California eruption is the timing. Alex Eala isn't just another player this year. She is the number 31 seed. This status, which she earned after her incredible performance in the Middle East, has given her a first-round bye. This means that the explosion in ticket prices is currently concentrated on her potential round of 64 match. On March 6th, fans are gambling hundreds of dollars on tickets just for the chance to see her debut as a seeded star. The experts are going off because they've never seen a player ranked 31st command more financial power than the world number 1. As we look at the sea of fans outside the gates today, it's clear Indian Wells 2026 no longer belongs to the traditions of the past. It belongs to the girl from Manila and the millions who are ready to pay a king's ransom to see her shine. While the ticket prices are causing a meltdown at the box office, the real hijack of Indian Wells 2026 is happening in the world of global branding. On this Monday, March 2nd, just days after her historic visit to the Nike World headquarters in Oregon, the details of Alex Eala's superstar treatment have finally leaked, and they are nothing short of revolutionary. Rumors are swirling in the corporate corridors that Nike has officially pivoted its entire Gen Z marketing strategy toward the Filipina queen, with some insiders whispering about a long-term endorsement deal valued at a staggering $45 to $75 million. This isn't just about sneakers and shirts. It's about a cultural coronation. When Alex walked through the History in Full Bloom display in Oregon, she wasn't just visiting a sponsor. She was being heralded as the successor to legends like Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova. This Nike effect has created an absolute merchandise massacre at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden today. The tournament's official stores had barely opened their doors this morning when the newly released Alex Eala signature Samp collection was wiped clean from the shelves. This special gear featuring the national flower of the Philippines has become the most sought-after item in the history of the BNP Paribas Open. Experts are going off because the sales metrics are showing that Eala's gear is outselling the merchandise of the top 5 world-ranked players combined. It's a marketing nightmare for the tour's veterans, as top 10 players are reportedly expressing instant envy over the massive promotional push Nike is giving to a world number 31. But as the experts point out, Nike isn't looking at the rankings. They are looking at the 100+ million Filipinos globally who are ready to buy anything with the ELA name on it. The economic shockwave doesn't stop at the gift shop. Tournament organizers are reporting that the surge in Eala mania has triggered a record-breaking influx of international tourists to the Coachella Valley. For the first time in the history of the 5th Grand Slam, the majority of hotel bookings and restaurant reservations are coming from fans traveling all the way from Manila, Singapore, and across the United States. This isn't just a crowd, it is a full-scale economic takeover. Ticket prices for the round of 64, where Alex is scheduled to make her debut thanks to her seeded status, have become so expensive that even some Hollywood celebrities are struggling to find courtside seats. The demand is so high that there are talks of installing giant screens outside Stadium 1 to accommodate the thousands of fans who couldn't get a ticket but still want to be part of the eruption. But the most fascinating part of this story is how Alex herself is handling the pressure. While the experts go off about her market value and the exploding ticket prices, Alex has been spotted in Oregon and California looking more focused than ever. She knows that being the real face of tennis comes with a responsibility to perform. With her historic seed number 31 and her first round bye, she has the luxury of time. But she also has the weight of a nation's expectations on her shoulders. The shock in California is that they didn't just invite a tennis player to Indian Wells this year. They invited a global movement. As the sun sets on day 1 of the festivities, the question on everyone's lips isn't who will be the world number 1 next week, but how far this 20-year-old icon can take the world of sports. The California desert has seen earthquakes. It has seen wildfires. It has seen legends rise and empires fall. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared Indian Wells for what happened in 2026. Because this time, it wasn't the ground that erupted. It was Alex Eala. And when she stepped onto Stadium 1 under that burning desert sun, California didn't just host a tennis tournament. It witnessed a takeover. Palm tree the calm before the shockwave. Indian Wells is not just another stop on the tennis calendar. It's called the 5th Grand Slam for a reason. Palm trees sway. Celebrities sip sparkling water courtside. Billionaires shake hands in private suites. It's polished. It's predictable. It's elite. And in 2026, the script was supposed to be simple. The top seeds would dominate. The American crowd would roar for home favorites. The desert would remain calm. But then came a 20-year-old Filipina with fire in her eyes and zero intention of following the script. Filipino enter Alex Eala, the storm from the Pacific. For years, tennis insiders whispered about her potential. Grand Slam junior champion, Rafa Nadal Academy graduate, a rising force from a nation not traditionally known for tennis dominance. But whispers don't shake California. Results do. And match by match, Alex Eala began doing something no one expected. She didn't just win. She dismantled. Her forehand cracked like a whip under the desert heat. Her movement across the baseline felt effortless, like she owned every inch of that hard court. And her composure, ice cold. The crowd didn't know what was happening at first, but they felt it. Something was building. Explosion symbol, the upset that changed everything. Then came the match that detonated the tournament. A top 5 seed. A packed stadium. The lights brighter than ever. The analysts predicted a routine win for the favorite. Experience. Ranking. Power. On paper, it was a mismatch. On court, it was a revolution. Eala absorbed the pace. Redirected power. Forced errors. Turned defense into offense. And when she fired a screaming down-the-line winner to seal match point, Stadium 1 didn't just cheer. It exploded. Commentators lost their voices. Social media went nuclear. And somewhere in Manila, Millions of Filipinos were screaming at their screens. Because this wasn't just an upset. It was a statement. Chart with upward trend, ticket prices skyrocket overnight. Here's where things got wild. The moment Eala stormed into the semifinals, something unexpected happened off the cart. Ticket resale prices surged. By the time she reached the final, the numbers were absurd. Lower bowl seats doubled, courtside tripled, VIP packages gone in minutes. Indian Wells had seen surges before, Federer finals, Serena comebacks, Nadal classics. But this was different. This wasn't nostalgia. This was curiosity, hype, and the birth of something new. People weren't just buying tickets to watch tennis. They were buying tickets to witness history. Globe showing Americas a nation awakens. Back home in the Philippines, it was 3 a.m. No one cared. Coffee brewed. Living rooms filled. Phones streamed live feeds. Entire neighborhoods stayed awake. From Manila to Cebu to Davao, streets were quiet because everyone was inside watching Alex Eala rewrite history. For decades, Filipino sports dominance meant boxing rings and basketball courts. Now, a tennis court in California had become the center of national pride. Flags appeared in the stands. Laban, Alex, signs waved wildly. And every time she won a point, the Raw felt like it traveled across the Pacific Ocean. Volcano the final. California erupts. The championship match was cinematic. Golden sunset. Electric crowd. Pressure thick enough to slice. Across the net stood an established superstar. Grand Slam titles, endorsement deals, global fame. And then there was Eala. Young, fearless, unbothered. The first set was tight. Brutal rallies. Marathon games. Neither player blinking. Then something shifted. Eala began dictating. Short angles. Sudden drop shots. Backhands lasered into impossible corners. The favorite started rushing. Missing. Frustrated. And when Eala broke serve in the final set, the energy in the stadium turned volcanic. You could feel it. The desert air buzzing. Fans on their feet. History knocking. Match point. Serve out wide. Return floats short. Forehand crosscourt winner. Game. Set. Championship. Alex Eala collapsed to the court as California erupted. Bar chart the business boom. Within 24 hours, the ripple effects were staggering. Her social media followers doubled. Sports brands scrambled for partnerships. Philippine tourism campaigns referenced her victory. Tennis academies across Southeast Asia reported record inquiries. And Indian Wells. They saw viewership spikes across Asia unlike anything before. Suddenly, the sport had tapped into a massive new audience. Because Alex Eala didn't just win a trophy, she unlocked a market.